David, it is great seeing you again. We've got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time. We're going to be chatting about A Better World with Cedric Gervais. We're going to be chatting about your new smash, Together. We're also going to get to know David Guetta a little better with Finky's favorites and ask you a question that you have possibly never been asked before. The icon, David Guetta, welcome back to America's Dance 30.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm curious about the question, but we'll see.
We will definitely see. You know, I know you are beyond insane, so as always, I greatly appreciate your time.
Yeah, well, it's summertime, so imagine in Ibiza. Plus, I do lots of European shows during the weekends. So it's quite a lot, but it's also amazing. You know, it's a great time.
I bet. Well, congratulations on the incredible success of A Better World with Cedric Gervais.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. It's really fun because we both French, and we went back to a little bit of that French touch kind of house music that we enjoyed so much, you know, end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s, and we wanted to dig into this vibe. And yeah, well, it's doing good, so we're happy.
Yeah, and it absolutely blew my mind. Cedric Gervais joined us last month, and he shared with us that he actually wanted to shelve it. And then when he moved on to another project with you, you're the one that reminded him about it to move forward with it. How do you keep track of all the songs that you're working on?
Sometimes I forget some. It's true. It happens. It's actually funny because like sometimes like someone is from my team is playing me something and I'm like, this rings a bell. It's like, oh yeah, you wrote it 5 years ago. You know, but this one, I felt, you know, the original idea, like there was a first demo that he played me and I really liked it. And it felt so different because of that reason, because of being a little bit of that French touch vibe. And we are very good friends. So, you know, we speak often about music, of course. And then one day, like he was playing me records and I'm like, but you remember this record you played me like a year ago or something? It was so good, so good. Like, why don't we work on that? So we did it.
You did it! And it turned out amazing. Congratulations on the success. Now, I can't wait to talk about your new smash, Together with Bonnie Tyler and Hypaton. But before we talk about that, let's get to know David Guetta a little better with Finky's favorites.
Okay.
What's a moment in your career where you felt completely out of your comfort zone, but it ended up being a favorite moment of yours?
Ooh, so many of them, actually, because, you know, I don't want to be too deep about that. But what I want to say is, like, in order to be successful, you need to put yourself out of your comfort zone. And every time I did something that was important for my career, I was out of my comfort zone. So there's a lot. But I think this is the most important things maybe to take out of it, you know, for people that are maybe young DJs or producers. Is like, you know, when you stay in the comfort zone, when you do what everyone is doing, you're going to be accepted, but you're probably not going to have that big success. And, you know, it's the time that I was like criticized the most that I've been also pivot in my life, you know, and I remember like when I did Sexy Bitch or, you know, I Got a Feeling or all those records, like my scene, I was like the Antichrist, you know, it's like, because at the time there was such an opposition between the urban scene and house music scene. And to me, it was not making sense. And I was coming from house, and it became a new standard. You know, even collaborating with pop artists, that was like seen as the ultimate betrayal. I mean, I just love music. I come from house music, but I actually come from funk and disco, and you know, that's my culture. So I cannot always do the same. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. I've learned how to appreciate other genres of music already from when I was a kid. And the more I make music, the more I learn and the more I respect other genres.
I love that. And it totally makes sense because it's along the same lines as Avicii when he brought out Alo Black at Ultra and got booed. And then it turns into one of the biggest global songs ever.
I think it's human nature. You know, like every time you're part of a group, the people of the group don't like that you do something different because it feels like a betrayal, but it's not. It's just an evolution. And some people need to sometimes be a little disruptive for the scene to stay alive also.
And thank God you were. Now, what is one of your favorite non-David Guetta songs of the moment?
Okay, it's not like right now, but like when Calvin Harris came with his last record, I was extremely impressed. He posted it even before he released it, and I texted him. I'm like, you killed me on this one. Like, you know, the type of song that you're saying, like, why didn't I do that? Like, yeah.
That's great.
It is the person that makes me feel like that. That makes me feel like,
So on your list, is he kind of the one that you're in competition with?
Yeah, but we are very, very friendly because every time I always support his record. I made remixes for him. Like, we are friendly together. We speak on a regular basis. But yeah, is the one that I see as my competition. But not only me, but I'm saying this in a very nice way, you know, because I admire him. But, you know, like for so many years in Vegas, in Ibiza, in so many different places, I was kind of the only artist that they could put against him. And he was the only artist they could put against me. It was so annoying, like promoters, if one promoter would have me, they would put him on the same day. And I'm like, oh my God, we would speak about it. We'd be like, this is so annoying. But, you know, it's like, okay, if he plays, like every other club is going to be empty. So we need David, or if I play, same, we need Calvin Harris. So yeah, he is the one guy that I'm like, wow, you know, yeah.
And you're both icons. Finally, in Finky's favorites, in honor of your new smash, Together with Bonnie Tyler, which is, of course, the 2025 version of the iconic 80s song, Total Eclipse of the Heart. What is David Guetta's favorite guilty pleasure song from the 80s?
That's one of them, for sure. There's always a little bit of cheese in the 80s, but in a very nice way. And I don't know, it gives me that 80s music gives me such a feel good. Also, like, I really loved that we didn't use the chorus, you know, we used the verse at the beginning, and then we sampled just the word together. And I think the production is very, very fresh that we did together with Hypaton. And it's an approach that is, I think, very different from any drop that has been made lately. And it's very difficult. I'm going to be a little technical now, but it's very difficult to play lots of major chords and make it sound edgy and cool at the same time. Because basically, if you make happy music, it becomes cheesy very easily.
Right.
So if you want to be cool, you just make lots of minor chords and you use certain, you know, notes of the scale, and it's going to sound cool. but you're not gonna have that feel good emotion. So the right spot to get that feel good emotion and at the same time to be cool, it's very hard to find. It's probably the hardest. And I really feel like this record is right there. And also because of everything that is happening in the world, you know, having a record that is spreading love and bringing people together is really more important than ever, I think.
And it's such a great feel-good track. Let's talk about how this was born with Hypaton and Bonnie Tyler. My most important question is, how?
Well, he came with the idea. He's a very, very musical person. I love this about him. When I reached out to him, was through Instagram, and he had very little amount of followers. And I was like, he would play on the keyboard on the top of famous acapellas, but it would not be produced. You know, it would just be ideas like this. And I saw all of this. I was like, whoa, your melodies are so good. I love it. And I DM'd him. And I think he was a little bit in shock.
David Guetta sliding into the DMs.
Yeah. So I signed him. You know, we talked a lot about like what sounds to use and you know, how to make like an improvement of his production style. And also I told him, okay, are you a DJ? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, you need to buy some turntables because I guarantee you're gonna start the tour. And he's like, really? Okay, that's crazy. So yeah, and he's really hardworking and very talented musically. So yeah, he had the original idea, and then we worked on the production together. And then I reached out. First, it was just a DJ tool, and you know, like I started to play this at the end of last summer, and the whole team of Ushuaia was in love with the record. And because the reaction of the people, every time I play it, it's completely insane. It's one of the best reacting record of my DJ set. Even though they didn't know the records, because, you know, there's a lot of young people, they don't necessarily know the sample, but they were like screaming, hands in the air. And the reaction of the people kept being so good that I was like, okay, let me try to clear the sample. It was not so easy. But then I reached out to her directly, and she was like so in love with the song, with the sample idea, that she was like, okay, let me re-sing it for you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a sample, but imagine the challenge now. And this I didn't really realize was to use her vocals that were recorded today, but give that 80s feeling, because they had a way to record vocals in the 80s that was very unique. It's a type of reverb that is very typical from the 80s. So, you know, the challenge after was, okay, how do we make it sound like 80s when it's recorded today? You know, and you have to use, you know, the some of those typical way to produce vocals from that time, you know, like the lexicon reverb, or, you know, like certain type of techniques that were used at this time. But they make, you know, when you hear 80s vocals, they have a certain color, you know. It's like if you watch 90s movies, there was that trend of using a lot of blue in the lights at some point, you know, and those are like trends. But when you don't know how to do it, it takes work, you know. So we spent a lot of time on making it sound like it was recorded in the 80s.
Well, you guys did a great job of that. I re-listened to it right before we chatted just to see, and I was listening. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound like her original vocal. So that is incredible that she redid it for you. Congratulations on the smash.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, before I let you go, I asked ChatGPT to give me a question that David Guetta has never been asked before. So I got to test this out, all right?
Okay, let's see, because I was asked a lot of questions.
I know! It even said, this is a tough request. Now, if someone could hear only one of your songs 100 years from now, what David Guetta song would you want it to be?
Titanium.
Oh, yes.
For sure. I think it's the best song I've done. If I think of the musical quality, the production quality, the lyrical quality, the vocal quality, and the fact that, see, I was not famous before that record, you know, I think it clicks a lot of boxes.
Absolutely. And I honestly think 100 years from now, people are still going to be listening to that because it is such a classic. David Guetta, congratulations on everything. Thank you so much for your time with us on America's Dance 30.
Thank you for supporting dance music and making it bigger in the U.S. And speak to you soon.